Logan's leaving us. Dark, drizzly Monday morning. As you can tell, I'm a little bit sick. Heading down to the shop to have our Monday morning meeting. And then we'll be headed back up to Trinidad and get this week started. Okay, I know I said we were gonna pick back up. I was sick all weekend.
Oh.
I know I said we were gonna pick back up when we got to Trinidad, but Joey did some cool things to the Prius. So
I made it into a work truck.
look at this thing. So you did a 1-inch lift,
1.5 inch lift,
1.5-inch lift,
and some big fat tires.
and look at these. Man, look at that.
And some Travis Pastrana wheels.
Look at that. We got some AK wheels, bronze. Man, it looks sick. And then what else are you gonna do to it?
Well, the lift on the front was just spacers, but the one on the back made it like heavier duty springs that are nice and beefy. I think I have a picture of them too. Because I'm putting a hitch on it so that I can put a motorcycle carrier on it, so I could bring these two places and look like a total nerd with my plug-in vehicles.
And what is that?
That is a bike that'll rip your arms off. That's the start part.
Look at this thing. This thing's crazy. We were actually ripping it around on Saturday. This thing is stupid. What's the horsepower on it?
80. You turn it up to 80.
It's crazy. We had it at like Weenie Hut Junior level and it was scary.
For context, the new 450s are pushing out like 52 or 55 horsepower. And so when that thing's on 80, it's stupendously fast.
It was scary. I don't ride motorcycles, and so it was on like mega Weenie Hut Junior mode, and I was still scared. But yeah, and then a roof rack on this too.
Yep.
Yeah, so I just want to show you that because this thing is like the coolest Prius around. All right, we made it up to Trinidad, and Logan just informed us.
Slow pokes, dude.
I don't even care what you have to say.
Huh?
Because Logan's leaving us. So, all of you in the comments that have talked about wanting to donate to Logan's retirement fund and all, just cancel all that.
Dude.
Just cancel all that. Nope, he's leaving. So, yeah, he doesn't deserve it. He's gonna be like a contractor or something like that. No, we're excited for Logan. Maybe
Maybe. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
he's gonna go make millions of dollars and become a successful contractor. But besides that, forget about all that. We don't care anymore. So we have interior trim, and we're trying to just really push interior stuff. But the other thing is we have to really get everything dialed in for the spiral staircase. It's going to be dropped in. So I'm going to go underneath the living room and figure out some way to provide a little bit more support for where the spiral staircase is going to land. So I'm going to be doing that. And then Joey will be up here in a little while. He has to do a couple things at the office and then meet some people in Eureka. Then he'll be up here. But in the meantime, we're going to get to work. So Skylar and I, need a screw. So we're up here. And we're pulling strings from corner to corner of the skylight here because what I need to do is plumb down from the center of this down to the floor, and then I'm gonna drill down to the floor, and that's where I'm gonna put. That's where I need to put some extra support there because we're gonna run an extra beam, put some blocking underneath there for where the spiral staircase is gonna land. Help me. So I'm gonna get this thing right at the intersection, and if you can just basically stop it from moving and then mark the floor. Yeah. Good?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. Don't worry, I already took the plumber and I double checked that there's no PEX.
Water just.
And there's yeah, exactly. I would have known by now if I had a PEX line, but no. because him and I had discussed not putting any PEX right here because we don't need this to be heated because this is where the spiral staircase is going. So now I'm gonna go underneath. Check that out. Hey, there it is. Okay, so now what we gotta figure out is how we're gonna put, we gotta put some type of support on there. We just wanna make sure that it's way beefier than we ever think it would need to be, because you would think one person would just go up a spiral staircase at a time. Probably not. Probably gonna have like 6 or 7 people that are all stomping in unison, and there's gonna be a tremendous amount of force narrowed down into a much smaller footprint. So we just want to make sure. So what I'll probably do, to figure it out, is actually have a 6x12 or an 8x12 sit up on top of this beam, and then except for those wires there, I don't know. I got some figuring out to do. So that's what I'm gonna do. Just about the end of the day. We're just, Tony and I are just trying to button up last couple pieces in here. I spent a good amount of the day trimming out this whole thing, which is kind of difficult because the trim up top there needed to come wrap around the top, and it's angled and all sorts of stuff. So that took me a while, and I just got this trimmed out as well. But yeah, we're just still on interior trim mode. It's taken a little bit longer than we were hoping for, but you know, with stain grade, it is what it is. You gotta take your time. So yeah, Logan spent a good amount of time just prepping a whole bunch of 1x2. So we're gonna finish this up, clean up, and then get out of here, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Okay, Tuesday morning, we had our quick little impromptu "what are we doing today" meeting. So we are just back into interior trim mode, at least until Joey gets here. So we as you saw in the time lapse, we did a whole bunch of processing of the 1x2 for the window trim. And so Skylar is going to set up a stain machine, get all that sent through, and get a first coat on all that stuff. And then we're just gonna be doing interior trim. And then once Joey gets here, him and I are gonna go back on the roof and continue framing on the upper deck. So let's get to it. I actually just talked to Joey, and he is on his way up here now. So I am gonna get that framing stuff up there, and so we can keep working on the roof deck. Dang it, we just did a whole bunch of blocking up here, and I thought the time lapse was going, but I didn't check, and Joey didn't start it, so we're both losers. So
Thanks for joining us.
so we got all of the blocking done. Actually, this is ready to install the decking on, which might come today. So we might actually, I don't know. The supplier, it was kind of last minute. We asked them if they could ship it, and they said they could potentially ship it today. So we're gonna see if we can get the decking here. Probably, let's get towards the end of the day anyways. But yeah, so this is done. This is ready to put that on. And then we got the brackets installed down there. So we might kind of shift gears and do something else for the rest of the day, unless that shipping truck comes down that driveway in the next few minutes. It's the end of the day. Logan, did you have a good day today?
It turned out good.
Did it start out good?
Tell us your whole personal.
No. So we got Joey and I got some stuff up there done like I talked about, and then these guys were just interior trimming like machines. You guys happy with the progress?
Oh yeah.
All right.
Cool. Cool stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Big cool stuff. Heading up to Trinidad a little bit late because I got some lumber. Well, I got the fascia and the 1x4 cedar so we can skirt the upper deck and start getting the deck boards down, because they're going to deliver those actually first thing this morning. So we should be able to get rolling on that today. We won't be able to get super far because the electrician and the plumber, they actually need to, and the audio guy, they need to actually run some stuff, because up on the upper deck there's going to be electrical and the gas for a fireplace and speakers. So we won't be able to get super far because they still need to run their conduit and everything, but at least we'll be able to get some deck boards down and start seeing some progress up there. These boys are trimming out some windows. Check this out. Sand that board. So as you can see, the window is shy of our drywall. So we've had to add our own casing around this. So that is what Skylar and Logan and Tony are doing. And then Joey and I are gonna go back up on the roof deck and work on that.
Good morning, USA. What is this? What is this? Did you buy that with money?
Yeah. Oh wow. Freak. I was figuring we would just return it anyways.
What is it? Oh, is it just for
Just for stiffiness.
you're gonna try to return it. They're gonna be like, man, we're not taking this garbage wood back.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
Oh, look at that. All that red batu. We got our decking. So first, before we get that installed, we're gonna install skirting around this whole thing, so it's gonna match this. So we gotta do that first, which is gonna take a little bit of time. So I don't know how far we're gonna get today with that stuff, but we'll see. Logan's getting it up here anyhow. So we got the fascia on. Actually, let's check that out real quick. So we're just trying to mimic the other fascia around the house, except we did this a little bit shorter around the rest of the house. This is 5/4 by 6, and we did 1x4 because around the house the fascia is also 14-inch, and we did 12-inch, and we're doing a slightly smaller drip edge too. So now it should kind of all proportionally, it's a little bit shorter, should all proportionally work. So now, before we put our deck boards down, Joey is schmooing on this, which is basically liquid G-tape, sort of, right?
kind of like a liquid rubber. It's probably pretty similar to, what is the stuff you put on retaining walls? Why am I forgetting the name of that stuff?
Oh, comment down below.
Probably pretty similar to other products.
Yeah, it's gonna provide a little bit. I know already we have PT and
Melroll.
Melroll.
You pour it on and it's sticky and you don't want to get it all over yourself, and it waterproofs things. The idea being that if your screws and all that stuff pokes through here, it'll self-heal sort of around that screw and self-seal. And the reason we're using this stuff is because we have such crazy blocking around this whole thing for our glass handrail brackets that you would just be putting layers and layers of G-tape or some other similar deck tape to try to get full coverage, and we've never used liquid applied, and it seems like a good idea.
Who's that guy over there?
That's Skylar. Skylar has a background of roofing, and he's gonna school us on some flashing details, because we think we know as silly carpenters, but he's a standing seam master, so we want him to kind of show how we do these outside corners and inside corners to make sure they look perfect.
Skylar, what are you doing first?
All right, let's go. Start with making an inch back mark. Let's square that up all the way down.
By the way, we're working with 2-inch.
And me personally, I like to 45 my kick. Actually, this is a 30-degree angle, so we'll go less than that. We'll make a snip here at that angle. Mind you, this is for an inside miter cut. Chop. Always keep your metal scraps off of the decking. We'll chop top back to there. And then to make your materials come together a lot easier, you have to cut off the bend portion of the metal. Just hand bend it like a roofer.
Look at those hand benders right there.
Wait, show him that you brought your own tools too. He's too good to even use our cutters.
Oh yeah.
Midwest all the way.
Who are whisses for?
What a whiz for wussies, dude. Let's get rid of this little tab on top just so it doesn't buckle up any other material. And then there you go.
Here, I'll be useful instead of just holding the camera.
Magic.
Alright, we got this thing all painted up. Look at that. So you can see kind of up close. It's like a layer of rubber. So this is hopefully gonna be like we're banking on this being at least a 50-year deck up here, even being this close to the ocean. We're trying to just not cut any corners. Not that we try to cut corners anyways, but we're just trying to make sure that everything is just way overkill for being this close to the ocean. So now we're finally at the point where we can put some deck boards down. So I'm gonna get those a little bit closer, and we got just enough time to get started on that. So let's do it. It's the end of the day. Joe's sitting down. Say hi.
I'm working.
Joe's working. Sitting down in a nice comfy chair. Anyways, yeah, we got all the fascia done and the trim and edge metal and all that. And then we got all of the liquid, I'm just calling it liquid G-tape, basically what it is. We got all that done. Man, checking out this red Batu. Look at that grain. It is super tight. And it's not that bad to cut. I was kind of afraid we'd be smoking blades and smoking drill bits, but it's actually kind of a nice blend between like an Ipe, which is just ridiculously hard and super hard to work with, and a cedar. It's kind of right there in the middle. So it's super, super hard. I can't even leave, my fingernail doesn't even leave a mark in it, but it still cuts pretty easily. So we're gonna get started. Oh, there's Skylar down there shooting at me. We're gonna get started doing this tomorrow because we can. We actually, we've got all the other utilities that are gonna go up here, kind of got that figured out. So we can start at least getting a good amount of the decking down, and then, yeah, so we're finally gonna see some decking going down. So we'll see you guys tomorrow. Oh, it's Tony. Hey. It's Thursday morning. It's a foggy Thursday morning. But we have got stuff to do. We can finally start getting the decking up on the roof deck up there. Joey's hanging a little behind because Logan and Skylar are actually down in Fortuna doing some work on the rental house down there. And then Tony and I are gonna just be up here until Joey gets here. And then it'll just be the three of us for this Thursday. And then, what are you doing this morning?
Me, I am gonna finish all the little details, trimming out the interior, filling nail holes, sanding, staining. We are officially trimmed out.
Yes. So Mr. Trimman over there and Mr. Deckman over here on the Truman Show. All right, well, let's get to it. Just got the border done just in time for lunch. Whew, look at that. I'm pretty happy with these. You can't ask for a whole lot more for a deck. I mean, wood's gonna expand and contract and everything, but I mean, they turned out pretty good. But like I said, obviously we're dealing with natural wood, so there's a little bit of fluctuation in the thickness and the width and all that. So they didn't come out perfect, but you know, it's gonna look pretty nice. You got to really look to see a whole lot of imperfections.
Dude, I burnt my elbow pit. I was welding up the downspouts for the master deck.
Oh, okay.
And like put my welding gear on, everything, and then I had to like change for some reason, and then
so you're like, I'll just be
naked. My welding shirt back on. It was too hot with that big cotton thing.
Oh,
I'll just weld this up real quick, but it was like 3 passes around the thing, and with my elbow just looking straight at the arc.
Oh.
And then I was driving. I was like, why does my everything hurt there?
Nice. Well, you're pre-sunburned for the weekend.
Perfect. Right where
So,
I want to be.
yeah. But before we get to the weekend, so we were just trying to figure out how we were going to lay out the deck boards, because if we just start with a full on one end, theoretical calculations say we end up with about a full one on the other end, but we know that never works. We know theoretical calculations are never that accurate.
You're almost better off just planning on splitting the board down the middle, so that if and when you're off by like a 1/4 inch, you don't end up having to rip a 1/4 inch off a full-size piece, or like have an awkwardly large gap that could almost fit a deck board but not.
Yeah, exactly. So we're trying to weigh the positives and the negatives and all of that of how we're going to do it. So I think what we're going to do is actually basically find center of the main rectangle of the deck, snap a line down the middle, and maybe basically lay our first deck board there, and then we can work to either side, because the other limiting factor right now is that we are actually waiting on the electrician to run his conduit, because there's actually going to be like an outdoor kitchen sort of thing up here. So we can't even get that far with the decking. That's why we were originally going to start on that side and work this way, but that's when we kind of ran into this conundrum. So I think that may be our solution, but we're going to do a few more calculations and then hopefully put some deck boards down before the end of the day. End of the day. Well, it's time to start cleaning up. It's kind of a mess up here. So I spent the last little bit just actually kind of getting these boards processed, just getting nice end cuts. And what we're doing is actually routering the end cuts where they're gonna butt into the border, so it gives it a really nice clean look. Let me show you real quick. It's just like an 1/8 round over to match this. So it just gives it a real nice clean look so that when it butts into the wire right there. Looks really nice and finished when you just give that little, it's a little touch that I like to do on wood decks, and it just kind of makes it a little bit more finished. So just a little detail I want to do. So anyways, I'm gonna clean up, and Joey and I are headed up to the lake this weekend. So we're gonna go shred the gnar, wakeboard and wake surf and have a bunch of fun. And yeah, so we will be back Monday morning. We'll see you then.